Morning. A lovely weekend. The weather has finally decided to behave. And I thought for the moment, or for this morning, I'll do a pure watercolour, more or less pure watercolour, and I'll improvise a mountain scene like the Lake District, ever popular. So I'll use this graphite stick, solid graphite, very good to draw with. So we have a bit of a mountain coming down to the water's edge, and another one over there, a bit of distance there. So we can put some rocks and trees along the tree line here. Got this one coming in front of the other one, coming down there, trees. Now I'm going to, I'm sort of thinking aloud really. I want to show these distant peaks here, let's make them a bit bigger, and show a bit of snow on them, but I'm going to lift that out. I'm not going to use masking fluid. I'll lift it out, but to do that I'm going to have to paint the background there a bit dark, so that when I lift the paint out it will show. They've got a contrast now, and if I make this a bit dark here, I can show some sailboats across there. Now I reckon in here we can do a bit of a house or some sort of cottage, just to give a bit of scale to the whole scene. Nothing very elaborate, just show something like that. Right, okay, so I'll wet the paper all over. Now my palette, as usual, is lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey and burnt sienna, dirty burnt sienna. I've just lightly wet the paint just so that we can actually get some. Right, I'll wet all over. Been busy this morning taking a list of paintings, 10 paintings, for an exhibition at Denby's. If you're around in that part of Surrey or South London and you want to come and see some work, I'm one of the 9 or 10 artists exhibiting with Denby's. It's a marvellous winery on the slopes of the Surrey Hills at Dorking. Denby's, it's well known. We're there from the first 2 weeks in April. We're just getting ready for it. I'm putting two of my demonstrations in and hope they do well. Right, let's do a sky now. So nice, I want a nice bit of dark. So a bit of alizarin in there. This is where I want the nice dark colour, so that I can lift out from there. Now I'm going to go a bit of red. And into that I can put in a cloud colour, which will be light red ultramarine. Nice dark now, but warm dark. I don't want to use grey in the sky, but nice dark blue, threatening. Right, let's see what that does. Now, whilst that is wet, I'm going to just put in a bit of reflection of the sky and the water. Right, now don't want that to run down too much there. I'll just reclip the paper, just give it a stretch. You'll see that when you wet the paper all over, it grows, and the paper I'm using is Fabriano, £130 knot, which means not hot pressed. And I've got this in blocks of 100 sheets from Granthams, Arts Discount. Right, let's just put a bit of sienna in there. Right, that's my distance. Now I'm going to use a darker sky mix for these mountains. Now I've got some sienna in there. And that one's coming down to about there. Bit of grass. And bit of dark trees. I'm using blue, yellow and red. I want that just to merge into the water's edge there. They're nice and dark. I'm mixing this green from the primaries. If you want to use ready mixed greens, you can try. Just lift a few bits of out of that, and whilst that's wet, we just drag that down. There. Put a lemon yellow in there. I'm putting below what is above into this reflection there. And then just okay. Now we'll go over to the other side and we'll try to make that slightly different. But this is a subordinate side. And that's going right across to there. To there. Lemon yellow in there. Just to vary the colours. Leaving little bits of white paper unpainted. And this is a nearer slope, so we can put some rocks in there. And then we'll have some more nice trees. In here. Well, they probably won't show. Oh, I was going to put the house there, wasn't I? Oh, never mind. I'll lift it out. Right, now with a card, plastic card, just start lifting out some large rocks. Quickest way I know to paint rocks is by doing this, just to give an impression. That's too dry there. And then as that dries, I can put some trees on the tree on the side of this mountain here. Let's just detail in here. Just drying a bit. Blue and red mostly in this. And then we can just etch out okay, that'll do. A little goes a long way. So let's put in the reflections in here of this. Leave a little bit of white just to show along there. There's some really nice dark. So much for my house. I'm just going to put some darker colour in on the far bank there. Mainly so that when I superimpose my little boats on it, I can just, it will show against the dark, because that's the extent of that. I'll just etch out some of these here, just to give an impression that that is an actual reflection. I'll clean my brush, which hasn't seen any clean water since we started. Right, I'll give that a dry now, and then we'll put in some little yachts, some sailboats, and that will do for this way of painting. It's very immediate, and you can go a long way with it, but you do need to give the mountain some scale. And I was going to use that little house, but I forgot. So what I'm going to do is to put in some sails, some white sails, with a bit of gouache, a bit of white opaque colour, or lacquer colour white, which I have on this large display tray. Now we can just go like that. It gives scale because as a small yacht you can make them a bit bigger. And then just come like that down here. One here, one here. Just something in the landscape. Now I was going to lift out, so I've got a bit of tissue paper and a 1/2 inch flat, damp, on that side. And now down here, let's just see if it will lift. Probably not quite dark enough there. For white to show, or a light to show, you do need to paint it fairly dark, but if it's too dark, of course, it won't look distant. So, what's that? Well, not quite worked, but right. Well, let's try this one. House here. Now we can put just a little bit of tree stuff in front of that. Lost and found there. just a slightly red roof, very faint, but just give it a bit of colour, because red enhances green, they're complementary colours, and put a bit of some windows in there. Right, now we're going to lift out some of this now. Right, that'll do. Well, too elaborate. And I'll just put in some tree trunks with a bit of this white. Bit naff really, but just to show a little bit of something going on this foreshore. Doing a bit too much now, and it'll lose its spontaneity. Right, we'll let that go. I'll put that in a mount, and we'll have a look and see what we've done. Let's I had my mount handy, a little bit of a splash of it there. So there we are. A Lakeland, Scottish Highlands, Welsh Hills, Lake District more likely because of boats. No great detail other than these boats, just to make it look wet. I give scale. Well, these give scale. That gives scale. A few trees on this thing here. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's zoom in as usual and have a look. I want to see those distant mountains. Oh, it does show up. And that's that side. That mountain is thrown back into misty distance by this dark foreground. And go across to the other side. The house, the roof is not really, just bit better. Right, okay, zoom out again. I'll move my tripod and we can get a better idea of what it looks like. Raise up the board. There we are. One Lakeland scene, done many times before, but they all end up a little bit different. Quite easy to do, as you saw. I like to do a little bit of pencil drawing to start with, but I didn't stick to it. I just painted around the edges. It's just a few construction lines, just a bit of a design. So we've got distance, we've got middle distance, and we've got foreground. And I suppose I could have shown some of that there. Oh, this no sooner said than done. Let's do it while we've got a chance. When we think about it, I will just show some of those rocks going. So I'm just trying to get those underneath. Oh, I haven't signed that one. Is it worth signing? That'll do. And you can, a good trick is just to, with a bit of a damp brush, is just to scrape a bit or lift a little bit of the darker water reflections off, so it looks as if it's wind ruffled. Bit of a trick really, but it does work. There, okay, I'm going to do no more of that. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.